What's up, folks? A little delayed, but here we are. Let's get it. That stream, there we go. That's the picture we're looking for. Melissa, good morning. Good to see you. A little bit later than usual, but glad to see everybody today. You've been waiting all morning to be here. You made it the first one. Rock on, Melissa. Hey, welcome in. I have driven a casual 100 miles already today. And now we're here to make some fantasy maps. So we've traveled in the real world, now we're going to travel in a fantasy world. How's that sound, huh? Return to our map with Cypress right in the middle of it, which seems to bring all the Cypriots and Greeks in. Melissa, thank you for the gifts. You unload them, as usual. I appreciate you. You're too kind. How you been, Melissa? Did you have a good week? Ready for the weekend? I certainly am. I did not get enough work done, I can tell you that. But, you know, don't got to worry about that on the weekend, right? We're free from it. Oh, congrats, Melissa. That's what I want to hear. You had a huge overnight breakthrough on your Writers of the Future project. Rock on. I dig it. What was the breakthrough? Just a plot revelation, or like, what was going on? Yeah, I got a few changes I want to make to this map that I've been thinking about ever since we started it. But my rule is I don't make changes to the map unless we're on stream. So I've had changes that I've wanted to make since last Friday that have not been made. One of those being I thought it would be really, really cool to make a little valley right through here. A little pass on this neck. Wow, Jonathan, my guy, welcome in, dude. Thank you very much for the gifts. You're too kind. TGIF indeed, my guy. And in fact, I should have given this to Melissa as well, but gifts for all of y'all. Gift for gift. This one, Melissa, 2 for you. Actually 3, I think. And then Jonathan dropping in with 100 TGIFs. I wish I had 100 goblins for you. 3's going to have to do it. 3 will be more than enough to keep you occupied, I'm sure. Remember the rules. Don't feed them after midnight. Hide all the matches in your house. And please, 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 you just have to accept the fact that your house will never be clean again. They are absolute menaces. If you've ever seen Gremlins, the movie, you understand the vibe. Welcome in, Jonathan. Appreciate you stopping by. Jack Ann, good to see you again. Welcome in, y'all. Later stream today. Had to drive my wife to the airport for her ocean expedition. So we've traveled a casual 100 miles this morning. We do live far from that airport. And now we're going to go and, travel a bit in the fantasy world, huh? I said there were changes I've been thinking about all week, but I don't make changes to the map if I'm not on stream. So we made our first one that I wanted to do, which was just to carve out a little path through these mountains. I think that's just going to be a fun road. Oh, I'm blurry. Thank you, Jackann. Hold, please. I fix. Haha. How's that? Thank you, Jackann. Ozzy, I appreciate you calling that out. And welcome in, folks. Good to see you. All right, so back to the map, y'all. We got a lot to do on this thing. I wanted to keep going last week, but we just, we used up all our time. The other thing I want to do is I want to jive. So I'm thinking like topographically and weather-wise, these mountains kind of make sense right along this ice edge. And in fact, I'd like to back them up to it. Because if you think about the Andes in real life, they are very desert and dry on their western edge. And they're so tall that they trap moisture on their eastern edge, creating the Amazon basin. So what I'm thinking is that all works. I'll just move these mountains a bit closer to this ice edge up here. So it's kind of a similar phenomenon. But with all of this water that's going to be in here flowing east, it doesn't make sense to have a desert right here. So we need a reason that there's a desert right here, and I'm thinking we add another little mountain range kind of in this area. Yeah, that's the other change that I'm going to make. Ozzy, what's the map for? The map is for the world of Wriggly Little Hands. This is going to be the full map that the books and stories take place in. Feel like we needed one. So here it is. Here's the beginning of it. And we're going to keep working on it today. I'm excited. Is my music low? I feel like it's kind of low. I couldn't really hear it at all. So let's get these mountains moved here. What's up, Email? Good to see you, buddy. How you been? Welcome in. I'm glad that glad you could tune in for our delayed Friday morning stream. Almost a Friday noon stream at this point, but hey, we'll take it, huh? Oh, you're too kind, Jonathan. You're too kind, my friend. I've been shopping for bigger gifts, because it doesn't make sense. Y'all give me a hat and mustache, and I just give you this little goblin? That's not fair. But I'll give you one anyway. I want to get like a bigger... I want to get something like huge and unwieldy that's just like ridiculous when I pull it off from off screen. I think that would be very funny. I've been shopping to try to find something for y'all, so we'll see what we can find. What the great wonders of the internet can give us. But today we start off with the manual adjustment of mountain ranges. Gonna need to add some mountains in here too. Oh, thank you for the follow there. I appreciate that. Minas Tirith, says Colt. Yeah, I could see that. That vibe is here for sure. This is more so. This little region's kind of like Andes/Amazon River Basin inspired. You'll see when I zoom out a little bit what we're going for here. When I'm not being so picky with mountains. So you kind of got the dry, frozen, cold up here, and then the mountains keep all that cold in. And they're so tall, they keep the moisture in on the other side, creating like an Amazon River Basin scenario. Also, I'm just a sucker for the Amazon, so this is my excuse. Hey, there you go. Far over the misty mountains, cold, through dungeons deep. Oh, what's the next line? I can't remember. It rhymes with cold and old. In caverns old? Is that what it is? Yeah, there you go, Colt. Let's go. We're just gonna kick it off with some Lord of the Rings inspired singing today, huh? That's how this stream starts. I'm all for it. Okay. Now I kind of want these mountains still to peel off towards the coast, so I went a little bit too much along that line. Let's get them going here. Not normally so finicky with the mountains, but I really have been wanting to make a terrain like this for a while. And then we'll add some hills onto the edge of it too. Kind of like that. There we go. Born to Celiborn. Am I still making wholesome goblin content? You know it, my guy. You know it. Obviously, Wriggly Little Hands is published and out. You can grab it from the link in my bio in any form you want. But also, I am anticipating a release very soon for the prequel, A Wriggly Little Assistant, which will be very much in the same vein as Wriggly Little Hands, and a sequel to Wriggly eventually as well. Yeah, Blaze, we did a later stream today because I had to take my wife to the airport. And I just got back from that drive, so, oh, sorry, I didn't put it back on map. You can't even see what I'm doing. So I've just driven 100 miles this morning. The airport's very far away, and now we are home. And just, you know, picking up the day. Picking up our normal map stream. There we go. All right. Digging it. We got our little Andes Edge region going on there. I almost feel like, you know what we need? I like Ozzy Osbourne and not Ozzy duking it out in chat. Jack Ann, thank you for the popular vote. Other name for the heart me. Thank you, my friends. I didn't just bobble that goblin. You didn't see anything. Gift for a gift. One for each of y'all. There we go. I was telling chat earlier, I'm trying to shop for some more gifts that I can give when y'all give gifts. So we're going to find something fun. Kay asked, do I animate? I do not. I do not. I wish I could, but no, I'm a writer. I just thank goodness for incarnatecom. This wonderful map maker allows me to have some semblance of artistic talent. Guri on YouTube, you said, yo, what's up? What's the book called? Here's the book, my friend. It is Wriggly Little Hands. Links are in my bio. You can grab it on Amazon. It's a goblin road trip comedy fantasy where goblins go on a road trip to save the Dark Lord and absolutely mess it all up horrifically because they're goblins. Why would you entrust them with anything important? It's very fun. I at least have fun with it. Oh, yes, we could definitely get some bridges and canals in here. Email, for sure. Hey, Born to Celiborn, you've started using the map creator after I recommended it. Rock on, man. I hope you're having fun with it. Kay, you said, do you have it on Webtoon or just a book? No, this Wriggly is a book and an audio book. It's not a comic or anything, so it's not on Webtoon. But you can grab it on Amazon or Audible. Tomato Lover, we are using incarnate.com, my friend. It is a free online map maker. Please do check it out. It's really fun. Also, y'all, I'm thinking if we got these mountains down here, right? This crazy mountain ridge, which almost turns a little too severe for me. I kind of want to actually change that up a bit. But if you got mountains like this, and we'll polish them up. This is rough. When they go into the ocean, I feel like we would also have some islands out there, right? So let's get some islands out there. Because, you know, islands are just mountains underwater and sometimes protruding from the water. So we need some out there. I think it'd be really cool to have them kind of run like right here, but there's a little bit of a road that wraps around this point. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that real quick. Let's just for later, we'll polish it up, make it nicer, but for the moment, we're just going to go. There we go. And we're just going to put a little road here to remember. Like I said, we'll clean it up later. That's just a memory for me. And then another thing we did earlier, I had these changes I've been thinking about all week that I wanted to make. Why is my cursor not showing when it's on my map? What are we doing here, folks? There we go. I'll give my brush. What a weird glitch. The cursor's not showing when on the map. All right, hold on. Let's save it and refresh it. Estonian Mapper. Hey, welcome in. You're in the right place. The app is called incarnate.com. It's a free online map maker. Highly recommend it. Simp1x, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. All right, let's see if that fixed it at all. It did not. Okay, so we're going to refresh this page then. That's the first time in... I must have 100+ hours in this app, in this website now. First time in all that time I've seen that issue. There we go. Now it's resolved. Look at that. I've been thinking about these changes all week to the map that I wanted to make, but I only make changes when I'm on stream with y'all. So the first thing we did today was delete a couple mountains out of the middle of this, because I think it'd be really sick to have a road that runs right through there with these tall mountains on it. So we're just going to paint that in for now. We'll polish that up later. Crunchy, this is a comedy fantasy world. So we're taking some inspiration from geography and topography and plate tectonics. And then we're also going, but you know what'd be cool and or funny? And just throwing it in there. Like the fact that the edges of the world is just surrounded by a giant ice field. How does that work? I don't know, man. I don't write sci-fi, but I think it's a cool concept. It seems fun. That is Cypress in the middle of it. It became a whole thing. My family's from Cypress, so I made Cypress in here. And TikTok is just like, it pushes it to all the Greeks and Cypriots now. I feel like when we type Cypress enough in the chat, it like realizes that, and it pushes it out to my Cypriot distant family. Incarnate is a website, incarnate.com. It's a free online map maker. It is super sick. Please do go check it out. I want to redo this little road for later, just that I'm trying to remind myself exists. We'll polish it up later, but I just think it'd be really cool to have a coastal road right there, right? That runs around the tip of those mountains. And then if we're looking at these mountains running into the sea, we should have a little island chain off the edge, I think. So let's throw that on in there, man. Let's see, our rough edges. There we go. That'll work. Let's just make this brush a bit smaller. I feel like these mountains should fully extend into like a little island chain, you know? I don't love the shape this is doing, though. Oh, Born to Celiborn. Enjoy, my guy. You're going to rewatch my episode of Roll for Sandwich. You totally should. It's awesome. Absolutely unhinged sandwich that got made out of that. My God. All right, I forget what brush roughness we were using last time. It's been a week since we worked on this, but that looks fine. We'll clean these edges up. The world revolves around Cypress. Hey, look, this is my fantasy world. We can roll with that if we want to. I like it. There we go. All right, I think that island chain's pretty good. Like that, you know, looks like an extension of the mountains. I also kind of want another little one right here-ish. So let's throw another one in here. Brush size up a bit. There we go. Boop. Mountain there. Or island there. And then we're going to do it still a little bit smaller. My scroll wheel gets really iffy around certain brush sizes. Like it's just a little bit too small for it. I get down to like size 6 and then it's like, nope, you get nothing else. You got to manually input it. Oh, that island's too big. I want just a little bitty one. That's not it, but that's all right. We'll cut off the edges. Think the map looks really cool, Callisto? Thank you. Here, I'll give you a full zoom on it. Here's the one we're doing now. Jaden, we are using incarnate.com. It is a free online map maker. Please check it out. I am a huge fan of it. Lovely map. Lovely map maker. And as an example of something you can do a finished map with it, here's the one we did last. This was our last stream project, all finished up now. Love the color on this one. We really got to do some cool regions. I'm a huge fan of it. And both of these are from, they are maps for my most recent book, Wriggly Little Hands, which is a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. But guys, they're goblins. Please don't entrust them with anything important. They're not going to do a good job. But please, links in my bio. Check it out if you want. It's on Amazon and Audible, Kindle Unlimited, paperback, audiobook, etc., etc. So that's what the map's for. Ozzy on YouTube, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Tuning in multiple sources. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. So we made these islands, right? So here's something else we're going to do now. Now I'm going to change the roughness of my brush. Here's a little tip for you. And we're going to go around the outside of these islands with a subtract tool, and it's going to roughen them up a little bit. Well, let's get our brush size lower, too. They're honestly so small, it might be kind of hard to. Let's do a lower roughness. There we go. See, that's going to just roughen them up a little bit, make them look a little more natural. Something like... Come on. Come on. It was a bit too much. I kind of dig it, though. Yeah, I kind of dig that. Yeah, Etane. Did you want to see the world? I can do that for you. Did you want to see the world map or the region map? I think you mean the region map. It's this one. I can zoom in anywhere you want, too. We got a lot of fun, cool little things in here. Stream. So most of these places are in the book, referenced or seen on the page. But chat came up with a few of the places as well that don't exist in the book, like the fungal jungle. Chat voted on that one, so we made it. It's like this ravine canyon down here with like a spore-filled air, deep, dense jungle. And then chat also made the Barrows of Blissful Bewilderment, where if you wander through this fog, you'll be confused and forget why you're there. And when you make it to the mountaintop, the hilltops, you can think clearly again. But in order to get out, you gotta go back through the fog. Creepy. I like it. Good job, chat. You're very welcome, Etane. Alright, where were we on this map? Oh, we were roughing up islands. Huh, I've lost my mouse again on here. How interesting. See, it's there now, and then when I go to my mask tool, oh, it's back. Okay, you know what? You know what? That was me. The brush size was so small that that I couldn't see the mouse, but it was still there, the cursor. That's really funny. Blame it on the program and its user error, as per usual. Ooh, I like that. Actually, I like that island being a little more round. There we go. And now we're just gonna just carve these edges in a little bit. It makes them look natural, you know. There we go. I don't love it. Why is Cypress there? I put it there for fun, and it was my family's from Cypress, and it became a thing, and now people just continually ask about it, and it brought, like, TikTok picked up on the fact that, like, people were saying Cypress in chat, and it just started pushing my stream out to all the Cypriots on TikTok. So now Cypress is just officially part of the world. Jam is better. Jam is better. We are using incarnate.com to make this. It is a free online map maker. Highly recommend. I want these islands to kind of be in a northeasterly trajectory, I guess, because they're following the curve of these, you know, the arc of this mountain range that we'll zoom out to show in a moment. That's a little too much. Millie, I wouldn't say I cried at the end of K-pop Demon Hunters, but I certainly had a great time. I'll say that. It's a great story. There we go. There's our little islands. I dig those. And there's the mountain range I was talking about. Kind of just flowing out there. We'll improve it. But those are all the changes that I wanted to make over the week that I was thinking about. So now, y'all, we got to get to the rest of the features in the world. I think what we were doing last week before we stopped was we were thinking about what sort of biomes do we want in here. As soon as it finishes saving, I can show you what progress that we're at. Yeah, okay, so we have like an Amazon-inspired area here with like the Andes Mountains, and then a very wet Amazon basin down here in the middle with dry, cold air stuck behind the mountains on the other side. We've got some deserts going on here. We've got like a Mariana's Trench that we want to work on later down here. But what else, y'all? Oh, we got a cold desert up in here. But what else? What else we got to throw in here, y'all? Give me some suggestions. The software, everybody, is incarnate.com. I just put it in chat for you. It's a free online map maker. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. Great program. I think previous chat suggestions here, I noted a few. A volcano. Definitely need a volcano or two. Chef Boy. Meteor crater. Yes, gotta have a meteor crater. I'm a huge fan of that. Let's do meteor crater. I think like a big old. I love when it's half on land, half on water. Just like it, boom, it came down and just obliterated, you know, something. So we're definitely gonna do that. Taiga forest. Definitely gonna do that. Near the cold area, probably up in this area up here, probably. Black Sand Beach. Ooh, interesting. App name is incarnate.com. Ben, the world that I'm writing about is a comedy fantasy world. For this book right here, Wriggly Little Hands, a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the dark world. Links are in my bio if you want to check out a copy. It's very fun. But we're just doing a world map for it. He said, "Who's the horse?" The horse is Horse. That's what the goblins named him, at least. He is their undead companion. They start the book out with. They start out riding Horse, but then some moron gives them a rocket-powered wagon. And all of that definitely goes well. I'm sure nothing bad would happen by putting advanced technology that spews fire out of it in the hands of a bunch of goblins. Yo, let's get that crater. I want to do that crater impact in here. That'd be sick. So for that, we're going to grab our mask tool, and we're going to go to subtract. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it smooth on the edges, and I'm going to pick somewhere halfway between land and water, and we're going to slap this crater down in here somewhere. Raccoon Incarnate is as simple or as detailed as you want it to be. I'm making this world map right now, but past maps I've made include this one right here. And you can go all the way down to like battle map level if you want. It's a lot of people use it for D&D. But like, I mean, if we zoom, like, let's go to turn back territory right here. If we zoom all the way in, like, you can see there's a lot of detail in here. And this is still a relatively zoomed out level, but you can get really detailed if you want. I'm just doing a bit more of a zoomed out kind of, maps for navigation type vibe. Thank you for the follows, everybody. I appreciate you. Millie, you said a midnight forest. That's interesting. Raccoon, yeah, the incarnate.com. It's a web-based map maker. It does have a free version. Free version's really good. It also has a paid tier if you want to do it. $5 a month or $25 for the year. It's pretty good. Yo, where's this desert gonna go? Let's what are we thinking? We could do it up in here. We could do it on the top right continent. Bottom right kind of is speaking to me, but also we already kind of have this cut right here. I almost feel like filling that in and then cutting the crater out of there. Something like that. There's a map in Discord that one of my Discord members posted that's super cool. Where they used a crater right in the middle of it, a meteor crater. Why is Cypress there? Cypress is there because I put it there for fun because my family is Cypriot. And it's become such a talking point that now it's just going to be the center of the map. Now, Vinny, this is the same map as last week. If you were here 2 weeks ago, we finished this map, which is probably the one you're thinking of that we've been working on for the last 2 months, thereabouts, on stream. Don't panic. It wasn't 2 months of full work. I work on this every Friday. But we finished that one, so now we're on a new one. Alright, I'm thinking the crater would be kind of cool right here. Kind of like that. And we'll put a little detailing around it to make it look a little more, realistic. Ekni Queen. Yes, this is the paid version of Incarnate. I was using the free version for a very long time, but I figured if I'm going to be doing it on stream, I might as well go ahead and get the paid version, Where to put the crater, y'all? Where to put the crater? I feel like right here. Well, we're going to do it right in here. I think this is a good vibe for it. Something kind of like that. And then we're going to rough it up a little bit. And we need to add some land as well, because I want this to really you can blend it in a really cool way. In fact, wait, let's go back all the way. We're going to extend this land out a little bit, kind of like that. And then we'll go back to our crater. We're going to do it more of an impact like that. Oh, but it needs to be not roughed edged. It needs to be relatively smooth, and we'll manually rough it up a little bit. But it looks better when it's smooth. That's probably a bit too much inland. It looks too unnatural. Feel something like that, maybe? It's cool, but I don't love it. Let's go all the way back. The power of Control Z. There we go. Alright. Maybe down south? Princess, we're using incarnate.com. It's a free online map maker. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Mateo, that is literally Cypress. It absolutely is. I don't know where to put the map, man. You're correct, Millie. Cyprus is in the EU. I want to make the crater look a bit more natural. You know what could be kind of cool if we put it there? Let me rough this up our roughness here. If we then Lord of the Abyss, the website is called incarnate.com. I'll put it in chat. It's a free online map maker. There we go. If we then rough this up a little bit, put some holes in here, it can almost look like the crater kind of blew, when the meteor came down, it kind of just blew out the land here. There was a peninsula, and aside from the initial impact, it also, knocked this out. I think that's pretty cool. Kind of like that. Because I think if you're going to do an impact crater, you need to have a little bit of land around the edges to really show, the damage as it came down, I guess. Slice toaster, you need a Flesh out your party's super continent. Is that for a D&D campaign, dude? Sick. Yeah, like dotted islands, Lord. You're absolutely right. Which, honestly, I think the best way to do that... I'm hitting the limits of my mouse's sensitivity for scroll wheel. I think the best way to do that is to go to Addition, and then we're going to add some land in here, like this. And then we're going to go to Subtract. We're going to make it a nice, smooth edge that kind of fits the crater a little bit. And then we're going to rough it up and just like punch holes in it, essentially. I think we might need to add just a little bit of land with a rough edge, kind of like here-ish. Just fill that in a bit. And then we're going to punch right through this bad boy. Noah, there's not a name for the world. Bisjormund said add some fracture veins in the land for the crater. Dude, I love that. Definitely do that in a moment. There's not a name for this world yet. I haven't named it. There is a book that takes place in it, and that's this bad boy right here. Link's in my bio if you want to check it out. It is a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. But they're goblins, so you know they do a terrible job. They get distracted. They pick up side quests. They start a couple forest fires. General chaos. Link's in my bio. It's on Amazon, Audible, ebook, paperback, audiobook, whatever format you want. And we did, most recently, a more specific map for it. This is actually some of the places they go to in that book. But now we're zooming out a little bit and doing a world-sized map. Was that Cypress? It was, Ursa. It started off as a more subtle Easter egg, and everybody found it immediately, and I was like, screw it, it's just full-on Cypress now. So yeah, canonically, Cypress now exists in this world. My family's from Cypress, so we got to put Cypress on the map. Oh no, I'm right there with you, man. I love goblins as well. We're on the PR campaign for goblins. Let's get them a good image in the press, huh? The website is incarnate.com, y'all. There you go. The free online map maker. Check it out. I treat this website like a video game, y'all. I just do it for fun in my spare time because I love it so much. It's a wonderful website. All right, I think we need like a little dot of land right on the tip of this sort of dealio. Boom. Yeah, all right, I'm a fan of that crater. Now let's do those impact veins in the ground that we were talking about. And I think realistically this island should be a little bit smaller. Oh, I made it bigger. That's the opposite of what I said. Demi, you live in Cyprus. Rock on. Kalimera, or Kalispera, I suppose, based on what time it is there. Yasu, my friend. That'd be Yasu Philomu. I don't know the conjugations perfectly. Where in Cyprus do you live? My family is mainly in Limassol these days. I still want to trim this down a little bit, but I liked the shape of it. Oh, there we go. All right, that works. And we're going to cut this off. There we go. And now we need those fractures. Who's the artist for the book cover, Raccoon? They're credited right in the cover on the title page of the book, but the artist is Ivan Shavrin. I've used him for a couple covers now. He's incredible. Love his work. I'm such a huge fan. Hey, Jake Hartman on YouTube. Good to see you, my guy. Welcome in. How you doing, buddy? Got a good weekend planned out, I hope. All right, y'all. Let's do these fracture veins. Now this is going to be a new one for me. I've never done anything like that. So let's see. We're going to play with this a little bit as we make this crater kind of. I think what we need to do for them is we need a larger brush size. Let's go with a brush size of like 8. Oh, Millie, the answer to that question is how it's done. For sure. For sure. I think we need to make it... yeah, that one, dude. It would help to pin the website name in chat. The problem is, unfortunately, the not fun influencer reality of it is people asking the question drives comments up, which makes the stream more popular in the algorithm. I had the website name pinned for a little while, and the engagement just went so down, and I was like literally hurting myself by having it there. So I'll very happily answer the question every time it's asked. Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that, Noah. You say it's smart, but I learned that fully through the hard way. Smart is not my strong suit. Persistence is. All right, y'all. So what I'm doing here is we're making these little like fractures, and I'm starting with a larger brush size and then making them smaller as they go. And then we're gonna take another pass and rush. We're gonna rough them up on the edges. Get off my lawn, guy. You said need elevation, like the land was pushed back and the cracks are forged. I'm not sure. I think it was a typo. All right, let's do another one here-ish. This can be the biggest one. Ba-da-ba. And smaller brush size. Ba-da-ba. Ooh, I don't like that curve. All right, I think that looks pretty sick, especially once we rough it up. That's going to look good. Maybe probably need a couple smaller ones in there too. Ooh, that sounds cool, that one, dude. Like a giant... Or no, who said that? Nathan Braverman, like a giant rift that divides a continent. That'd be pretty sick. We do have a Mariana's Trench going on here that we're going to work on. Here's the world map, if we zoom out for a minute. Oh, Mordecai. I absolutely love cenotes. I am such a cenote fan. I've written them into several books, and I get questions about what they are, and I thought they were more widely known. Melissa Lee, I appreciate you and all of my lovely mods. You guys rock. Oh, fjord is what you're trying to say. Get off my lawn, guy. Gotcha. Yeah. I dig that. George, that is Cypress in the middle of the map. Millie, you're excited to go back to school? Hey, rock on. I'm glad to hear that. Most people are not. That's a good energy to start off with. All right, let's get this brush size to like 6. I just want to do... I feel like we need a little spoke as well on this one. Spoke crack. I don't know what to call it. Fracture, I think someone said. That was a good word for it. Oh, you could get this, Nils. You could get your world building on this level for sure. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I just explore as we go. You know, we just kind of figure it out. Yeah, Nathan, I'm not sure. I think some fracture veins would rough the curve up, but on some level, I want to maintain. The general nice curve of the crater, because meteor impacts like that would leave generally a clean circle, and then they would get roughened up over time. I think we're zoomed in too far now to really rough this up the way I wanted to. So let's try it out like in here. There we go. We just got to stay a bit further away because we can't make our brush size smaller. That's a bit too much. Massionis is it is incarnate.com is the program. Feel free to check it out. Free online map maker. Incarnate. I spelled it wrong. Delete the 3 from the name, and you have it. I wish I could be a little bit more precise with this rough up, but I've got the brush set to rough things. You know, it's a little bit of a random process. And I'm just working in too small of details. Like, it's not that important. I shouldn't be zoomed in on this level, but here we are. This is a constant problem of mine. Too detailed, not necessary. All right, we're going to go smooth for a moment so I can really carve out what I want here. So I just want a tip, point. Don't like that stroke. Haha, Nils, go for it, man. I like it. It's a cool idea. All right, back to the rough. Ah, too much. Too much rough. Oh, yeah, that one. For sure there will be cities and towns we're going to put on here. Also, a fun thing that I'm really excited to do. I'll show you here in a moment as soon as I finish roughing up this fracture. All right, I kind of like that. It could be better, though, you know. Buff Nerd, yeah, I'll show you the book, too, in just a moment. Thank you for asking. All right. Oh, boy. We'll work on that. So, 2 questions that were asked. One, what is the book? So this is the book right here. It's called Wriggly Little Hands. It is a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip. It's been described as a D&D campaign where no one put any points into intelligence, and the DM is just taking shots after every chapter, which I personally am very proud that a reviewer said that. They got it. They understood what I was doing here. But anyway, here's the book. Links in my bio if you want to check it out. It's on Amazon. It's on Audible, ebook, paperback, audiobook, any format you want. Links in bio. Please do check it out. And then the other question was, where we go? Here. So this is actually like a region from the book itself. The goblins literally start off right here in their little goblin village. So this was a bit more of a regional map we made that goes through some of the early settings in the book. And what we're going to do is, since this is a region and this is our world map, we're going to take this region and we're going to do a less detailed version of it somewhere on the world, like where it exists in all of this. Nathan, you said, what if one of the fractures turned into rivers that spread through the continent? Maybe that could happen. I mean, hey, it's our world, right? We can do whatever we want with it. I could see that being a thing. Oof, I didn't mean to subtract. I meant to add. I need to stop working on these fractures. They're cool. I'm doing too much work on them. Chat, make me move on. I have to move on. I kind of want to do a beach around this too, actually. That counts as different work, right? So let's go ahead. We're going to grab, this is what we've been using for sand, and we're going to go right into the edge here, and we're just going to do a little bit of, if I can get my brush size right, a little bit of sand in here. I want them to have, like, beachy, it's beachy on this side of the islands. Is my opacity down? No, it's full up. It's beachy on this side, and it's rough on the other side. And we'll trim this all up, but for now, this will do. Here we go. Just make the brush bigger, Alex. There we go. I should have started right there. It's interesting. That's not the brightest color. Let me try it with this one. Oh, that's my cold desert color. Never mind. Get that out of here. So let's do it over again. Just a little bit brighter, and we'll refine the beach. This is just the start. We're doing broad strokes here. There we go. Yeah, see how much better that looks now when you zoom out on it? Y'all, we're using incarnate.com. Free online map maker. Please give it a look. Wonderful program. I'm a huge fan of it, y'all. I literally treat it like a video game. A lone island in the middle of the crater, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know how it would get there, but again, guys, this is a fantasy comedy world, so we can do whatever we want. Jake Hartman on YouTube, you said you're just getting ready for the kid's birthday party tomorrow. There's going to be a ton of goblins running around. Oh, no. My guy, like, I write stories about goblins, but a child's birthday party, you're going to have actual goblins going nuts there. Good luck, my friend. My thoughts will be with you. All right. We got that crater going. I really dig that. That's going to be a fun area to write about. So, let's see what else chat has suggested. Lottie, you like the cypress in the middle of the map? It is full on cypress. We'll refine the mountains. I need to change it up a little bit, but for now, yeah, cypress fully there. Let's see. All right, we got the meteor crater added. We definitely do need some more islands, but I think we're going to we'll populate those as we get there. I mean, literally, oh, you know what? Actually, here we go. One of the things that I wanted to include in here that chat was excited about was barrier islands. So we're going to put a barrier island in somewhere, more than a few even. I got to think about like how those kind of go. Oh yeah, we'll definitely get rivers and lakes, Owen. Why Cypress? Cypress is where my family's from, and growing up, I would tell people in America I'm from Cyprus, and they didn't know where, or my family's from Cyprus, and they didn't know where that was. So at this point, it's just become a thing that I always work Cyprus into my fantasy worlds. Where would a barrier island go? None of this topography, none of this terrain is really like appropriate for a barrier island. They tend to form along straight coasts and shallow waters. DRG MVK, yes, you're correct. I do get Cypress, Texas a lot, especially because I live in Houston. So people think, they're like, oh, Cypress, like Cypress, Texas, just north of town. I'm like, no, not that one, with a U. Maybe right in here we could do a barrier island. That could kind of work along if we straightened out that coastline a bit. Oh, you know, it could be really cool down in here, though, too. Right on the edge of that trench that just drop off in the ocean to absolute abyssal depths. We're going to need to polish that up, but that's a cool area. T-Bot, you said to the right of the Italy-esque peninsula on the top right continent? Oh, so you're saying Barrier Island like in here? Alright, I'm going to mark them up because I think that's two good areas, and I want more than just one Barrier Island. Like, I'm from Florida. So, you know, we got a lot of barrier islands off, well, both coasts, really. So we're going to put a rough one in here. Brush size too big. Let's go to like 6. We're going to just, probably needs to be a bit thicker, though. Let's do like 8, 10 brush size, 10. We're going to put this here, and we'll come back and rough that up. But that's the start of our barrier island. And we're going to put another one like right in here. I don't like my mouse skipped a bit, so I was doing it kind of like that. We'll rough it up. I think that's a good start. Hey, no worries, Email. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Rock on. Mike and Dutch, we are using incarnate.com. It's a free online map maker. Feel free to check it out. I highly recommend it. Hey, you're from Wakulla, Nathan? Rock on, man. I'm from Tampa, but I went to school in Tallahassee. I love the Big Bend part of the state. Wakulla is lovely. All right, let's rough this up. I got to think about the barrier islands. They are typically smooth on one side and rough on the other. Smooth on the coastal side, I believe, right? Like, let's just double check that. Yeah, so like, see, they're smooth on. Oh, you can't see too well. See, they're smooth on the coastal side and then rough on the interior. That's kind of the vibe we're going for. Not as many in the Big Bend, but there are down by Tampa. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe we're going for right here. All right, so we need some water on the inside, and then we're gonna cut it up a bit. When was I at FSU? Get off my lawn, guy. 2012 to 2015, or 2011 to 2015 were my years there. All right, let's get this roughness. There we go. And we're going to put some cuts through this barrier island as well. Alright, now we're going to go to smooth for a moment. And we're going to just throw some channels through here, because you always have channels cutting through these things. Passes, we called them in Florida. John's Pass being a famous one. There we go. There's our barrier island. It needs a little bit of work still, but I'm not too mad about that as a start, you know. Desert oasis somewhere in one of the deserts? For sure, my guy, for sure. You like the little barrier island we got going on? I'm a fan of it. It's a good start. Right along the edge of that deep, dark water, too. I love that. Nathan, you're at FSU. Dude, rock on. It's a good place to be at school. That's fun, man. I majored in, I got one degree in media communication studies and another in creative writing, in answer to your question. Would not recommend the creative writing degree, personally. Don't think you need it. If you want to be an author, you want to write books, read a lot, write short stories, submit them to contests, I really do think that's about all you need. You're going to get better that way than you are with formal education in it. I don't think you need much formal education for writing, but that's my own opinion on it. Alaric, this is incarnate.com. It is a free online map maker. Boy, I'm trying to drag my map and I keep deleting my islands. feel free to check it out. I highly recommend it. Let's cut some cuts through here. Some passes. There we go. Alright, slightly different barrier island there, but I'm a fan of it. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate y'all. Maybe the media degree helped out. I mean, maybe. I just have fun live streaming, honestly. I just enjoy being here with y'all. It's a great way to start my day and to talk about my books. And hey, y'all buy a lot of books off my stream, so thank you. I appreciate that immensely. That's how I support myself. I'm a full-time author. I've been doing that since 2018. So thank you for the support, everybody. I appreciate you. Get a quick save here, and while it's doing that, we'll flash the book real quick. If you want to read the book that this world is from, Wriggly Little Hands, it's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save their Dark Lord. But they're goblins, so you know they're gonna mess it up. It's full of shenanigans, chaos, dumb decisions, bad jokes, you know. Links are in my bio if you want to get an audiobook, paperback, ebook, Kindle Unlimited edition, all those formats. They're there. Feel free to check it out. And the map is saved. Chase, I'm using incarnatecom to make the map. It's a wonderful free online map maker. I think, you know what I've done, y'all? I always do this. I've made these wonderful islands that we just worked on way too small. Because you can't see them at this level. Like, this is a world map, right? You're supposed to see it at like this level of zoom. The islands are just too small in there. I think I might need to make them bigger, right? Because like you can't see them. Like, this is the level you would view it at, and you just can't see them in there. A constant problem of mine. I'm bad at scale. I think they seem to scale with the terrain around them. You just have to like kind of view the map in parts, right? Like it kind of works if you look at the map like this, but if you go all the way out, it doesn't, which is always an issue that I have. Nathan, you said, what are my goals as an author? To make more money, sell more books, and have a stable amount of income from it, because publishing is a very rough industry. It's always unpredictable, and I would like a little more predictability from the career. So that's really my goal. Write fun books, entertain people, stuff like that. SK, the app is incarnate.com. There you go. Just put it in chat for you. It's a free online map maker. Jake Hartman on YouTube said, "Don't let Alex get you down, Islands. You're just the right size." Yeah, Jake's right. Don't listen to me, y'all. I'm smack talking my own islands. All right, we kind of got our barrier islands in there. I think we might need one more, huh? I'm going to extend this chain of barrier islands up a little bit. Oh boy, that's a little bit big. A little bit big on the brush size there, Alex. Alright, and we'll carve off some of that, and we'll rough it up a little bit. Alright, let's get our rough. We'll put this brush size down to like 4. And just cut it up a bit. Nothing too crazy. Let's change our roughness size, because you don't want it to be the same random roughness applied across the whole area. Oop, don't like that one. Love that little lake lagoon going on there. In fact, I liked it better before I messed with it. Geeky Dad, you said TradPub or Self-Pub? I started out in TradPub. I then went to Small Press, and I have very recently begun experimenting with Self-Pub, but I still work with Small Press, and I'm not currently working with TradPub. We'll see if we go back to it. I had a very bad experience because my literary agent got run out of the industry, deservedly so, for a scandal, which meant he dropped my book and all of his clients' books overnight, and then no other agents would touch them because they couldn't verify which publishers had seen them. So basically, me and many other authors overnight got all of our novels just absolutely trunked, and it was brutal. We're still recovering from that. That was not a fun experience. But we'll go back to it one day. For now, we're just rolling with it, figuring it out as we go, huh? The publishing world is crazy. You never know what's going to go on there, man. It certainly keeps you guessing. All right, and we need like one more cut. There we go. Y'all, I love that barrier island now. Oh, and I need to paint it. It's on the desert, right? So let's give that boy some desert touch going on. There we go. All right, y'all. I'm digging it. Really like those little barrier islands we threw in there. Oh, TikTok says I'm inactive. Hold on, guys. I have to prove to it that I'm not. I swear, TikTok, I'm still here. There we go. Cypress says, I can't read your name. It's just 2 emojis. Yes, that is Cypress, right in the middle. My family is from there. The app, Dean Winchester from Supernatural, is incarnatecom. Thank you for the follow, one half of the Winchester brothers. I feel safer having you here. All right, we did our barrier islands. I still feel like we could do one more. We got one more chain of barrier islands in us somewhere. I need to know the geography, the geographical reasons. Oh, hold on, Jake Hartman on YouTube. You're so spot on. I need a tiny little island in the middle of the ocean, like Point Nemo. Yeah, dude. We can do that. All right, what's our biggest ocean here? I think it's going to be like right out here. Maybe this one here. All right, so we're going to put our Point Nemo out here. Just a little speck of land. Boom. Love it. Perfect. I do, though. All right, chat, I want your opinion on this, y'all. You tell me what we're doing here. I feel the continents on this map are cool. I think that they cut up the oceans a bit too much. Like, I don't like oceans that feel constrained, right? You have to pass through this middle area to get everywhere. I feel like I want like a Panama Canal, a natural version of it, kind of going here so that you can technically go like this way and then around this way. Maybe even a cut down here. I just don't like it when oceans are constrained, you know? Oceans should be around the continents, not continents around the oceans. At least that's what I think. Not Bald, Ray, and Lane. You said you love the Cypress. Yeah. Glad you noticed that. Incarnate.com, y'all, is the map maker. It is a free online map maker. Yeah, all right, so it looks like you're agreeing with me. You're agreeing with me on opening the oceans up a bit more. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create some natural Panama canals in here. How do we want this land to interact? Do we want like a straight, you know, we got going on, or do we want it to be more open? Because like I could also do something kind of like that. That makes it feel more like continents, but I kind of liked it. I'm going to do Control-Z it. It's going to change right up here. There it is. I kind of like it like that, I think. Yeah. Some questions in chat I'll answer real quick. Dean Winchester, I'm in Central Time. Theo, what's the book called? The book is called Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip. Links are in my bio if you want to grab a copy, an audiobook or ebook or paperback, any format you want. And then McFly, sorry, you said, what do you think about the gamification in books? Like, you like lit RPG plots, but they get cringe fast? Well, my friend, I also like lit RPG, as you can tell by the fact that I've written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. In various genres, so you can find my lit RPG books. Links are in my bio to my website and everything. I think lit RPG is an awesome format. I think it's growing and authors are getting better at it, and we just need a little bit. It's a young genre, right? So it's continually growing, and people are improving so quickly at it. It's really cool to see. What do we think about like a little cut going through here? I kind of dig that. Charlotte, it's incarnate.com. It's a free online map maker, browser-based. VST, hello, welcome in. Yeah, Dean. We'll definitely we can do rivers. I'm still sculpting. We're kind of like sculpting the world itself right now, and then we'll get into the more specific details. But right now we're like placing mountains, cutting oceans out, stuff like that. But if you want to see the last map we did, this was the most recent one we did, and this one's a lot more, nitty gritty, like detail and stuff. So we went right down to like we even put rapids in and whatnot. We got our swamp going on down here. Here's a good river for you. Got those oxbows in it. It's an old river. So yeah, we get real detailed. We're just a bit more at a world level right now. Yeah, Dean, the app is free. It has a free and a paid version, but the free version's totally rocking. It's totally good. VST, the book is Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord and all the ways they mess it up because they're goblins. They're not, good at staying on task, avoiding side quests. Someone gives them a rocket-powered wagon. That's a bad decision. Links are in my bio. Please check it out. It's a lot of fun. Y'all, I think someone said that they wanted to see a gap between the ice and this continent here, and I agree with that. It's also going to help my oceans issue, where I felt like I didn't like that the continents were cutting off the oceans. Thank you for the follows, everybody. Appreciate you. You guys rock. Omnimark, I have heard of Lord of the Rings, believe it or not, and I'm a huge fan of it. I'm currently rereading Fellowship right now. I love Tolkien's world. It might be where my love of fantasy maps began, even. Y'all, I'm just kind of vibing with these changes right now. Just bear with me for a second. I was thinking it could be kind of cool to have this kind of like that. It's a little too straight though. Oh, Charlotte, the website I think is what you're asking about is incarnate.com. I put it in chat right there. McFly said self-plug if you want, but what are your top 3 lit RPG books? Oh boy. I mean, Dungeon Crawler Carl's obviously incredible. I'm a huge fan of that one. I'll give a shout out to my book, Warden, first in the Nova Online trilogy. That remains my best-selling book to date. So I'll give a shout out to that one. And then, it's tough. I've really enjoyed Dungeons of Strata by G.D. Penman. That's a little bit of a lesser-known lit RPG. I feel most folks haven't heard of it, but it's a really good one. A little bit darker. Obviously, the big hits like Beware of Chicken are just incredible. Etc. etc. There's the stuff that's everybody knows it's good, right? You like the ice? It's like from Game of Thrones. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe we're going for, except it's, you can see the map's supposed to be spherical. So it is literally just surrounding everything. We'll call it inverse Antarctica. I like the shape of this new continent down here. Or, the new shape of this continent. Stone, you said, what are lit RPGs? Lit RPGs are a growing book genre. It means like literary RPG. So imagine like video game mechanics, but applied into a fantasy setting. There's various interpretations, but like if we go to, this one right here, Warden, it's a dystopian book that I wrote. Takes place in the near future. But virtual reality has progressed so much that everybody is playing really immersive online games in it. And so the story takes place in the dystopian real world and also in the video game they're playing. Kind of like Ready Player One. The Cypress comments are coming out in force. Why is Cypress so big? Honest, you want the honest fact? Because I'm bad at making actual shapes. And I made it and then went, oh no, it's too big. Oh god, I can't easily change it. I guess that's the size that it's going to be now. It's not like a vector program. I can't like grab this landmass and just shrink it down. I'd have to literally redraw it, and I spent like the first third of my first stream just drawing Cypress in here. All right, I kind of want to open the oceans up still more, but I don't really know where to do that. I also feel like since we've carved up this ocean here, we need to put some more sea ice in. Let's grab some of that. Shrink it down, rotate it, pull it out a bit, think it looks a little too samey, so let's give a horizontal flip on. Oh, it's a vertical flip. Horizontal flip on it. Little rotation here. I kind of like it like there. And we're going to grab another one. There we go. Let's make that a bit smaller, though. There we go. There's our sea ice. That looks a bit more appropriate to me. Although it protrudes too far, so let's bump it in a bit. There we go. And you too. You're out too far as well. Nope, not that one. Where is it? Where are you? This one. There we go. Alright, so we're going to move that there. And now we're going to grab the correct ice chunk. There it is. And put it away. I'm happy with that. Let's get a quick save. Neeslush, you said there's planet simulation websites if you're interested. I've heard about those. I've never really tried them out. They seem pretty cool. Print D, am I making a book for my fantasy map? In fact, I've already made the book, and now I'm making the map for it. Tingus Pingus, I am not going for a more realistic map, more so just having fun with it. It's for a fantasy comedy world, specifically my book, Wriggly Little Hands, which is a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip. You can get it from the links in my bio. It's an audiobook, an ebook, paperback. It launched about 2 months ago. And it's a really silly book, so we're making a very silly, a loosely silly fantasy map for it. We're trying to follow climate and topography and plate tectonics loosely, but we're also just breaking out of this for rule of cool. Oh, I'm all fuzzy. Thank you very much. Let me know when that happens. Sometimes my camera gets mad if I lean out of view. There we go. Someone asked for the app. Yes, it is incarnatecom is what I'm making this with. It's a free online map maker. You're trying to make a story too, VST. Can I give you any tips? My tip is to write only the things you're 100% most excited about, because the first person that has to enjoy the story is you. And so I think you should really just have fun yourself. Lean fully into it. Don't be afraid if it's too wild or too weird. Do what you want that's fun, and go from there. That's where it's got to start, though. That's my #1 tip. Dean, you got to run. Am I going to stream tomorrow? I don't think I'm going to stream tomorrow. I'm going to be busy. But I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time. So I'm here all those days. And then we get some bonus streams in here on occasion. Sometimes there's some video game streams. I play a bit of Rocket League or maybe some of the Battlefield 6 beta. But primarily we do like bookish content. That's kind of more the vibe I'm going for here. But we throw some video games in from time to time. So if you catch me on a weekend, that's what I'll be doing. Thanks for tuning in, though, man. I appreciate you. Just want to touch up this snow here on the edge of this land. I think it's kind of cool that we have a little island here that runs into the ice wall. It's fun to me. Luca, we're using incarnate.com. It's a free online map maker. Tingus, you said, or some desert rocky formations. Those are always cool. Yeah, for sure. I think we were going to do another barrier island before I started cutting up continents to let the oceans flow more freely. I want to think for a second. Do we want to do any more cuts? Do we want the ocean to be any more free? It feels like it's a little less constrained, but I don't know. Oceans should be free and overwhelming and not constrained by continents, you know? Henry Rosales on YouTube. He said, "Is this the whole world, just a piece of it?" This is the whole world, for this world at least. Jacqueline, you like the ice walls? I kind of just slapped them in there real quick. They could be improved, but it's literally just the sea ice, the glacier, around the edge with a snow paint applied on top of it all, and then some mountains beneath it in certain areas. It was a pretty easy way to throw it in there. I'm sure it could be done a lot better. Chris Tiana, the island in the middle looks like Cypress. That's because it is Cypress. That's where my family's from. So we put it in here for fun, and now canonically, everybody's having so much fun with it. Canonically, Cypress just exists in this fantasy world. Northeast, you said the northeast continent needs to be trimmed on the west coast southern. So you're saying like here? West Coast Southern. I think that would be like right here, right? I kind of almost want it to be, I don't know. I still want these oceans opened a little bit. I'm debating doing a cut through here and make. Let's just see what it looks like, huh? We have the ultimate power of undo. We can do whatever we want with this. Bam. We could totally just carve on through this, you know? It doesn't look very natural. It was a quick job. Tingus, I like the idea of a large island chain. That would be fun to do. I have little island chains, but I made them too small. You know what though? Hold on. We need to do some painting on our ocean here. This was shallow because there was a continent here. But now that I've gotten rid of it, I feel like we need to shallow up this sea here. Or sorry, deepen it up. Keep it shallow around the islands, but away from them should be a bit deeper, darker water. Zoom in a bit, smaller brush size, get some deep water in here. There we go. Let's do this. We're going to make a huge brush size, a lower opacity. And then we're just going to do a little bit of smoothing on this. Kind of like a Bob Ross wet on wet paint technique. There we go. Love that. I love how that adds depth to the ocean. Albin, it is Cypress in the middle. The one I just cut in half looks like the bottom half of England. Oh, I could see it. Yeah. You kind of got like Wales. Wales has got a turn like this in it, right? And then you've got the moors out here in southern England. It's been a while since I've been to southern England. Ooh, get off my lawn, guy. You said the northernmost part turned into like the Indonesian islands. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to look at the Indonesian islands again. Hold on a moment. Put up my book cover so I can zoom out on Google Maps. Otherwise, it'll show you my exact home address, and I'd rather not show that to stream. There we go. Let's go to Indonesia, guys. Take a look. Okay, we could do that. For the program I'm using, folks, it is called incarnatecom. It's a free online map maker. I just put it in chat. Feel free to check it out. We could do, I like this idea. I like the Indonesian island vibe going on. Maybe we cut up this landmass here. One of these for sure we need to do. I like that. I like that idea. But where? Which continent do we obliterate to do that? Snecky Sneck, thank you for the follow, my friend. Appreciate you. And you got a fun name to say. Which continent we cutting up to turn it into Indonesia? Fantasy Indonesia. The north one. You think this one? It would certainly give us more ocean. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's cut her up. We're just going to get in here, different brush. So we're going to start with like a smattering like this, right? This is going to be punching our holes through it. And then we're going to finish up the edges. Let's get a different brush size and kind of just cut through. We're going to just make a quick island chain. All right, let's try to look at it from a zoom level. I don't the zoom level that it should be viewed at, you know. I don't want it to look too intentional. Oh, that kind of has an Indonesia vibe with that, like that narrow point with the bigger landmass. I'm getting like ooh, what is the name of that island? Papua New Guinea vibe from that. All right, and we got to cut up in here a little bit. Ooh, love it, love it, love it, love it. A little bit of an inland sea kind of lagoony vibe. I like this being long and narrow, but that was too narrow. Smaller brush size, that'll fix the issue. I realize now, guys, I gotta apologize. I was slandering Incarnate earlier saying that I had encountered a glitch, but I hadn't. I thought my cursor disappeared, but I just made the brush size so small. Like, my cursor's here. It's just the brush size was so small I couldn't see it. So Incarnate, I'm sorry. I thought I encountered a glitch. I did not. It was user error, as most things are. I don't like that one. What's the website? incarnate.com. Put it in chat there. It's a free online map maker. Jake Hartman on YouTube, he said, time to chant the old spell of determination. Figure out which continent to cut up. All together now. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, this one. Sleepy, this is the paid version of Incarnate, but I used the free one for many years. I just figured if I was going to be streaming it every Friday, I might as well go ahead and get the full version. I'm very happy. I was very happy with the free one though for a long time. All right, so I'm digging how this Indonesian area is shaping up. My problem with it is it looks unnatural. The way it's just like it's just kind of slapped in here, right? So I'm thinking the way we make it look more natural is we cut up the coast here to kind of match it, so it looks more like it. You know, you could imagine the plate tectonics ripped it off of this continent. So we're gonna do that next. Any advice, Rian? You said what's your book about? So this book is Wriggly Little Hands. It is a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. But they're goblins, so you can imagine they get it massively, catastrophically wrong, get distracted, go on side quests, get into general shenanigans. Links are in my bio if you want to check it out. Please do. It's on Amazon. It's an audiobook, any format you want. And then someone asked, Autark, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. He said, any advice for aspiring authors? Don't start with novels. That's always my number one advice. Everybody starts with novels. Y'all, novels are long and difficult. It takes a lot of work to write novels. Your time is better spent doing short stories because, one, they require everything that a novel does. So you're going to practice writing a novel, but it takes less words so you can do it faster. And there are free short story contests judged by industry experts, reputable authors, publishers, etc. And you can submit to those and get feedback on your writing, your story, etc. So I would advise to start with short stories. That's always my number one advice for new authors, aspiring authors. And then my second advice is to only write things that you're excited about. Truly, you have to be the first person to enjoy the story. So make sure that's the case. Make sure you enjoy it. Write exactly what you want. Don't worry about self-doubt or if it's too weird or anything. Boy, I don't know how to say that name, but you asked what site it is. It is incarnate.com. Let's see. I think that was some good advice. Where was it? From Tingus Pingus. Long, windy peninsulas that take strange shapes to help cut up coastlines. Yeah, for sure. In fact, I need some up in here because, it's looking better up top, the Indonesia area, but it still looks unnatural. I don't know. We need to finagle it a little bit. Something's not quite jiving just yet with it. I almost feel like, yeah, Ronnie Jones, there's definitely a jungle zone. We're still working biomes in, but this is going to be a whole, Amazon River Basin area. I've got these mountains here, just like the Andes, very tall, holding dry air off to the west, and trapping moisture in beneath them. So we're going to have a whole, Amazon rainforest vibe going on down there. I'm a sucker for swamps and jungles. What game is this, says Wong? It is an online map maker called incarnate.com. Please check it out. Highly recommend. I'm not sponsored by them, believe it or not. One of these days I need to be, y'all. Y'all go petition Incarnate to officially sponsor the map streams. Alright, I still want to get this coast. I think I'm going to redo this coast that I cut up here. At least parts of it. Because I think what I need to make it look natural is it needs to, see the direction of these kind of cuts. Hold on. Right in here and here. They need to flow towards these islands out here. I think that would make it look more natural. So we're gonna redo some of these and kind of do a kind of a fjord feeling going on in here. That's a little bit too samey. That's too big. We're getting there though. We're good. Other name. I have reached out. I appreciate that, my friend. I have spoken with Incarnate. They are not interested in sponsoring just yet. But I was a lot smaller then. Mainly, though, what I realized is I shouldn't have asked for sponsorship. I should have asked for a promo code or something if anybody signs up. But I'm fine not being sponsored, man. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this to have fun with y'all. And if you really want to support me, grab one of my books. This is my most recent one. The links are in my bio for it, but I've published 10 books now, so please go check them out. If you want to support me or the stream, just grab a book. See if you enjoy it. They're all audiobooks, paperbacks, Kindle Unlimited, ebooks, etc., etc. I'd appreciate you. Yeah, Jaguar, I can totally spell it out. It is incarnate.com. Here it is in chat. So you can go to the website. Make the peninsulas weirder. Oh, yeah, definitely. I need to alter the brush size a little bit so that we can kind of change them up a bit. Appreciate all the follows, by the way. Thank you, everybody. You're too kind. Yeah, get off my lawn, guy. The reason I don't have Incarnate's name up here is a very dissatisfying but realistic reason. It's that the more people that come in and comment and ask for it, the more engagement there is on stream. It is annoying a little bit that like we keep answering it, but I put Incarnate in chat one time, like I pinned it on the screen one time, and my engagement just went so down, and like I got less boost in the algorithm and stuff. I hate that this is the answer, but unfortunately it is. So that's why I'm always happy to answer when people ask. Unfortunately, if you're on TikTok, you got to play by their rules a little bit. All right, I'm kind of digging that, y'all. I think that's looking pretty good up there for the islands, you know. Oh, Mike, you just asked for me to show the whole map, and I was accidentally already doing that. So rock on, man. You got your wish right on time. There you go, guys. There's the world map so far. We're going to keep adding stuff. I'm pretty happy with the cut-up islands up north. It still feels... right around here, it still feels unnatural, but we'll continue to finagle it in. Crayid, I think you mean Cypress for the middle island. You are spot on, my friend. It is inspired by Cypress. Basically is Cypress. We'll touch it up and put some finer points on it. Oh yeah, we're definitely adding biomes still. Cody, it is incarnate.com is what we're using to make this free online map maker. That's kind of what we're doing right now, guys, is we're thinking about biomes. So we just added in this Indonesia area. I think it needs some work. We will fine-tune it. I don't think we need to do it right now, I say as I zoom in to do exactly that. But we'll let that sit for a little while, and then we'll come back and fine-tune it later. I want to do big picture biomes right now. Gosh, I keep saying that I'm moving on, and then I see something else I want to change about these islands. There we go. All right. So we need mountains, y'all. There's some mountains in here, but like a pro tip for map making is start with your highest elevation. So we need more mountains in here. Also, I have 200 changes. I should probably make a quick save. Why Cypress? My family's from Cypress, Raven, so I make it a point to work it into a lot of my fantasy books as a bit of an Easter egg. This time it was too obvious. Everybody got excited about it, so we're just leaving Cypress right in the middle of the map. Hey, you're from Cyprus. What's up, my guy? Where in Cyprus? Kalimera, or Kalispera, I believe, based on your time zone there. Alan, you're good, dude. The website is incarnate.com. Y'all, where should we put more mountains? And for reference, I've recorded things that chat has said that I want to stick in here. So other details that are coming in, we're going to work more on this Mariana Trench area right in here. We'll polish that up. We also are going to do a taiga forest, a Great Lakes region. That's going to be cool. Someone wanted a Baja Peninsula type vibe, a constant rainy area. So those are some of the topography that we're going to put in there. C. Nikolakis. Yes, it is Cyprus. It absolutely is. Gotcha, Cypriot Mapper. My family is from Morphu and now Limassol. Small Arctic island. Throw, you're also from Cyprus? What's up, my guy? Welcome in. Yasu and Kalimera. Ooh, yes, you're absolutely right, Tingus. Mountain passes are mountains are more interesting where the passes are. That's why this ugly yellow line is here. It's because I realized that would be a really cool road right between these mountains. So we're gonna do some cool detail work in here later. Let me grab one of my favorite things. I always use cliffs in all my maps. Like, I overuse them way too much. But just as a reminder for later, we're going to slap these in here, because that's going to be a really cool like road vibe going on. Let's see. I need a left side cliff. And we need to make it smaller. We'll put it in like that. Another one like that. So we're gonna clean that up. But that's just a reminder for later. What's the book about? Says Leon. Hey, thank you for asking. Here's the book. It's called Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. But y'all, they're goblins. Don't trust them to do important things. They're gonna get distracted. They're gonna get involved with some shenanigans. Maybe get scammed. Get distracted. It's a good time. It's available on Amazon and Audible. If you're into D&D, fantasy comedy, please check it out. Links are in my bio if you want to give it a look. I appreciate it. I am a full-time author, so selling books is how I put bread on the table. Volcano says throw. Absolutely. We definitely need to get a big volcano in here. I'm gonna note that in my notes because we need that for sure. Let's see. We need more mountains first, though. Can I add one of those sea monsters you see on old-timey maps? Definitely. We can throw those in there. I have another map where we've used those extensively. It's probably not worth pulling it out right now, but one of my older maps on stream, we did that. Let's see. I want some more mountains in here, though, because you need to sketch out mountain ranges early on. Sleepy, who did the cover art for my book, this was done by Ivan Shavrin, practicing artist. He does a lot of art for Magic the Gathering, comic books by Marvel and DC. I was honored to have him do my cover art. Dude's awesome. And in fact, I have a prequel to this book coming out called A Wriggly Little Assistant. And Ivan, once again, lended his amazing artistic talents to the cover art. So big shout to Ivan. I want to work with him with every book going forward. Dude's an artistic genius. Big shout out to Mr. Ivan. Oscar, why is Cypress in the middle? My family is from Cypress. And Cypress feels like a very fantasy land place, so we just throw it on in there, huh? Fash to get to Norden. You said it feels like a Terry Pratchett book. That's what I'm going for, my guy. That's exactly the vibe we're going for. Yeah, we need some mountains. All right, let's do it. Let's do these mountains continent by continent. I'm going to start right here because I just remembered something that I wanted to do. It doesn't make sense if this is going to be our Amazon rainforest region, right? You got these high mountains here. They're trapping cold air and dry air up on the left side, the west side. But they're so tall, they're trapping moisture in here on the east side. But it doesn't make sense that we'd have like an Amazon basin flowing this way that runs into desert, right? So we need a reason that the water is diverted around it. So I think just a little teeny tiny mountain range right here in the middle. Could even be hills. Maybe we change it to later. But I think just, some mountains right around here would be an appropriate reason that that desert exists. The water just gets, kind of diverted away from it. It's not very natural looking, but we'll polish it up. Oh, Kim Gong Ja, I would not say that I really know how weather and stuff work. I just look at real life maps and go, huh, let's copy that. But I do try my best to make it at least decently realistic, but we have some fun with it. It's a fantasy world, so it's a fantasy comedy world, so don't take anything too serious in it. It's very much intended to be kind of goofy. I think we're going to cut this desert back a little bit too. Why are we not painting here? Is my opacity down? Yeah, that's what it is. There we go. Like this, we'll cut that desert back. And now let's grab our jungle brush. Did I not favorite that? Looks like I didn't. Alright, well let's grab it here. Let's favorite it. There we go. And we're going to paint a little extra jungle in around here. That opacity's too high. Let's turn that down a bit. This is just, I'm just using this dark green to demarcate where we're going to have the more Amazon vibe going on. So there we go. It's kind of trapped between these two mountain ranges, and it runs here and out, creating a more drier environment here. A lot of questions here. Let's see. What program? It is incarnatecom. I just threw it in chat. feel free to check it out. Jake Hartman on YouTube. The real question is who or what lives on the Cypress-shaped island. I don't know yet, Jake. But we're gonna figure it out, huh? Riles, you said what kind of things will be in your book? We have other fantasy things apart from goblins. Oh yeah, the book's already done. So here it is. Here's the cover. Links are in my bio if you want to grab a copy. It's got tons of fantasy stuff in there. There's a sentient golem named Sherlock Stones, who is a very clear Sherlock Holmes impersonator. There's Horse right here on the main cover, the undead companion given to the goblins so they can travel fast. And then when they inevitably mess up, it's an undead horse, so like nothing's really lost, right? There's a dark lord, there's a bright queen, there's dragons, ghosts. The whole book pokes fun at fantasy, right? So I make fun of a lot of fantasy tropes, as well as embrace some fantasy tropes because I love them. Thank you for the follows, everybody. You're way too kind. Alex followed the creator. That's really funny. I followed myself. Welcome in, Alex. The map maker is incarnate.com. I'll put it in chat. There it is. It is a free online map maker. All right, what were we doing? We were adding mountains, continent by continent. All right, y'all. Next continent. You know what, though? Boy, I'm overusing mountains here. But a lot of these mountains are going to get turned into hills and stuff. I'm just really... We're planting flags right now to remind ourselves what stuff's going to look like later on. All right, next continent. Where are we putting the mountains here, y'all? We got this crater thing. This impact, meteor crater over here, which is sick. Where else do we want mountains? Is that Cypress in the middle of the map? Yes, it is. It is straight up just Cypress. Someone said, when does the book release? Oh, the book's already out. Links are in my bio if you want to go grab it. If you want to read the book set in this fantasy world. How do I do the beach? Charlotte, it's a paintbrush. I just grab a sand-colored paintbrush. And then just... Sorry, that's the wrong color. There we go. Let's turn the opacity up so you can actually see what I'm doing. I just grab a sand-colored paintbrush and apply it to certain areas. I think the mountains could go around the crater. I think that's cool. Oh, but you're saying like less like mountains and more like uprooted land. Yo, that's sick. All right, hold on. We got a mountain. We can use that. We can do something with for that. I love that idea. Hold on. There's a mountain that's like jagged to one side. I think it's this guy right here. Yeah. All right, let's see. Can we get it in the direction that we need? So it's like this one, right? See how it's kind of sloped? If we horizontally flip it and then put it, it's going to be tough to make that really work. I need a mountain of a certain shape for it. That's kind of it. Kind of something like that, maybe. You could use these to show what you're saying. I like the idea there. Perto holding Berto. It is called the website is called incarnate.com. It's a free online map maker. Charlotte, if you're having trouble with your brush going on the island versus sea when you are painting, there's an option here. If I go like this and drag it over, you can see my controls over here. If you're on paintbrush, there's something called brush layer right here. You can paint the background. That's going to paint in the ocean beneath the water. If you paint foreground, see, it won't do anything because we're in the ocean. But if you take it onto land, then it will paint. So if you're trying to paint land, make sure that you paint on the correct layer, background or foreground. And if you do top, it'll paint over top of everything. But I don't like painting top because it'll paint over your stamps and stuff too. So you block everything. You're good, Charlotte. It took me forever to learn several things on Incarnate that I should have picked up quicker. So I'm happy to share. All right, guys, I love this idea of these mountains that kind of rim around the crater like it's uprooted earth. But I'm not finding mountains like in the correct shape for it. I wonder if the canyon stamp might work better. Let me go back to my proper map display so you can see it. Let's see what we got going on for cliffs and canyons here. Something like this. Let's zoom on in here and see what we're working with. Okay, that might be the answer, y'all, if we kind of... Yeah, that could do it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to put like this canyon here, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an opposite side one. So it looks like it's risen up on one side and then the other, right? It looks like it was something impacted and smushed it up, which is kind of what happened. It's an impact crater. But I need a cliff that faces the correct direction for that. Something kind of like this guy, but rotated. There we go. All right, so you got to grab like this one, and we're going to rotate it a bit. That's probably not going to work, but it gives you the idea of what I'm going for. Charlotte, the way the sand fades into the green is you just make the brush really big when you're painting. So like I make it like this size, and then it'll just get a natural... Let me turn the opacity up again. It'll get a natural fade on the edge of it if you're just really careful as you kind of swoop it on in there. If you use a smaller brush size, like this, that you notice how that line's a lot more stark than if you use a bigger brush size. That just makes you fade it smoother. Allows you to fade it smoother. How many books have you made? Asked Throw. I have written 12. I've published 10. Here's the first 5 of them. They're all linked in my bio if you want to check them out. We got like Dragon Ball Z meets Highlander with this one. This is very goofy. Goblins on a road trip. This is like Jurassic Park vibes, thriller, fantasy, and this is all lit RPG of different sorts. Thank you for asking. The name of the app is incarnate.com. Please check it out. It's a free online map maker. It's a lot of fun. And I'm sorry, I did not mean to be on my cover that long. 4R, you could darken the areas that are higher. Yes, you're spot on. So that's kind of what I'm going for. That's why I'm laying out mountain ranges first, guys. Here, if we pop to my last map, I failed to do this on this one. Alex, all of my books are on Audible. Please check them out. They are all on there. What I failed to do on this last map, you see how the fungal jungle, chat created this area, so we put it in. See how it's got these cliffs all along the edges? If I had planned this out better, what I would do is everything above these cliffs would be larger stamp-wise, and everything beneath them would be smaller, so that it gives you a depth effect. The stamps being smaller, you know, the mushrooms, the trees, all this stuff, it makes it, when it's smaller, it appears to be further away. So since it's down beneath this canyon, it should be smaller. So that's something I'm working on. I'm very bad about that. One of the tips I've learned using Incarnate and failed to implement so far, but we're gonna figure it out, you know? We live and learn. Thank you for all the follows, everybody. You are way too kind. I'm trying to see if we can get... I'm trying to figure out what kind of cliffs we can use around the edge of this. Because I think it's going to look really cool if we do it right. Bella and Billy, you said, what's the fantasy book about? It is this one right here. Wriggly Little Hands. It is a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save their Dark Lord. But they're goblins, so you know they're going to mess it up in the most hilarious of ways. It's been described as a D&D campaign where no one put any points into intelligence, and the DM's taking a shot after every chapter. It's a lot of fun. Please do give it a look if you want. It's on Audible. It's on Amazon. The links are in my bio. And we'll get a quick zoom out here. Here's the world it takes place in. We're making the map for it. Book's already out, but got to make a map still. We're at 100 changes, so I guess we can save the map real quick. Because my one complaint with Incarnate is no autosave feature. That would be lovely. I'm sure they'll get it in one day. It is not on Spotify, Hildegard. I wish it was. But Audible and anywhere you buy audiobooks for the most part. Watum88. Incarnate has a free and paid version, so you can choose what you want. The free version is really good. I'm a huge fan of it. I only upgraded to paid so that I could do it on stream. Just figured might as well have it all. But it's $5 a month or $25 for the year, so it's not bad at all. Yeah, this is fully Cypress at the center, y'all. We just threw it in there. My family's from Cypress, and now it's become like a thing. So the map is absolutely just going to have Cypress right in the middle of it. Tingus, you said, big question, where would the goblins begin the journey and where would they travel through? Oh, it's funny you ask, Tingus. The last map we made is actually where the book starts. So if you were reading the book, the goblins start right here in their goblin village. And they go north through the caverns of Whispering Web and meet their Dark Lord up here in legally distinct Mordor. And then they set off on their journey through the world. So that's literally the first 3 chapters right there. First 4 is going from the Goblin Village through the caverns up to the Dark Lord's Tower and then off into the wide world. The website is called incarnatecom. Feel free to check it out. And the name of the book is Wriggly Little Hands right here. Links are in my bio if you want to pick it up. It's a comedy fantasy. It's very goofy. It's very silly. Please give it a look. I appreciate y'all. All right, let's get this crater rim figured out, y'all. I think these cliffs are going to do a good job with it if we can just get the right cliffs in there. There we go. Here's another good one. If we make this a little bigger, we got to make sure that the cliffs, you know, kind of like the circle that they create makes sense. I want it to be a gradual circle, so this guy's really needs to be more like here. And it's kind of curved too much. Charlotte, you said, where was it? I think I saw a comment. Yeah, how do I grab the map and move it? If you hold spacebar, see how my cursor changed into a hand? Hold spacebar, left click, and then you can, you know, drag the map all over the place. Player 10, I'm not a programmer. Incarnate's just that easy to use. And for those that don't know, I'll put it in chat. Incarnate.com, right there, free map maker. Aunt Bookie, have you tried layering the cliffs over the mountains so it seems jagged since it's relatively closer? Yeah, oh yeah, we've in fact, we got a little bit of that going on up in here with the ice sheet. It's actually mountains with like sea ice on top of it, but it makes it look like a big glacier. So yeah, we'll definitely we'll do some of that around here. Chaotic UFC, can you make an area named after my late friend Inda Boyce? I'll make a note of that, my guy. Let me add it in my notes document here. Inda Boyce, is that right? E-N-D-A-B-O-Y-C-E. Double check my spelling there. Alright. I'm not vibing with this crater edge right now. I'm not making progress on it, so let's pick something else to work on for a bit, y'all. We were laying down mountains, so let's continue with the mountains. We got to figure out where we want them to go. Oh, Melissa, interesting. Spin them around. Yeah, I'll try that when I come back to it. That might work. That might work indeed. Chat, we're working on this continent right now. Where else should the mountains go? Maybe an interior. We haven't done a lot of interior mountain ranges, so maybe we start it from the interior. This one going outwards. The app is incarnate.com. I put it in chat there. It's a free website. Ben, you're an Incarnate fan. I love it. You're very welcome, CEO. Thanks for stopping by, man. Pleasure to have you. Let me test something real quick, y'all. Oh, no. The mountains are... Oh, no, they're okay. Our mountains are good. So there's different types of mountains, and what I was testing is... let's see. Let me grab them so I can show you. Some of the mountains are transparent and others aren't. So like this mountain, see, not transparent, but the ones that I'm using are. So if I let's grab a really wacky color. If we just like grabbed an incredible yellow color and painted it on, see how it doesn't go into the mountain on the right, but it does on the one on the left? I always use mountains like that, the one on the left, so that they take on the color of the terrain beneath them, and they look like they belong there. And we're using the right type. So I'm thinking interior mountain range on this one. Let's keep the zoom level out to where we should actually look at the map with. And we're gonna start our mountains there. Alright, so it needs to be that size. The program is called incarnate.com. It's a free online map maker. Check it out. I highly recommend it. Like I said, I treat it like a video game, y'all. I literally, in my free time, will just play around on this thing instead of playing video games sometimes. All right, we're going to throw some mountains down in here. I think this is going to be a central mountain range on this continent. Kind of maybe runs north to south, spreads out throughout it. Keep in mind, a lot of the stuff we're throwing down is placeholder. We will clean it up later. We're just trying to just like mark general areas right now. We're at the broad strokes portion of our continent making. There we go. All right, I dig that. There's the mountains there. We'll clean them up. We'll clean them up. CEO, what's my book about? It is Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. It's been described as a D&D campaign where nobody put any points into intelligence and the DM's taking shots after every chapter. Made my week when a reviewer said that about it. The link's in my bio if you want to check it out. It's on Audible. It's on Amazon. Any format, any way you read books, you can get it. Please give it a look. But that's what the book's about, and this is the map for it. Let me center it for you. This is the world map we're working on for it. We are using incarnatecom, as my wonderful mods are saying in chat, to make this. It's a free online map maker. Give it a look. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. You're very complimentary today. I appreciate y'all. Yes, that is Cypress at the middle. We put it in as a joke, and people fell in love with it, so now it's actually living there. My family's from Cypress, so I like to sneak it in. I didn't do a good job of making it an Easter egg in this one. It's literally right there. Whoops. I haven't seen the Raiden slash on the Genshin map, TK. That sounds awesome, though, man. The top right looks like it could be a swamp. Yeah, so we're going for like an Indonesian, Malaysian kind of vibe up in here, despite the fact that it gets cold in the north. But yeah, definitely swampy jungle. We will definitely do that. Right now, we're placing mountains. So y'all, looking at this continent, let's give a little background. We have a cold desert here where the continent runs into the ice wall surrounding the world. What else do we want? We got kind of, let's put a little swamp color in here. To mark. This is going to be my Indonesian stretch, kind of jungly islands up in here until it gets cold. So we kind of got that vibe. We'll paint it with that dark green. But I want to throw some mountains in here. Where do we think the mountains should go on this this continent up in here? DHT, there is definitely magic in this setting. It's a very goofy comedy fantasy world. In fact, here's the book, but I'm working on a prequel to it. Following a wizard. Magic is definitely prevalent in this world, as you can tell from this cover. I have a lot of fun with it. The map maker is called incarnate.com. I'll put it in chat for you because it's spelled a bit weird, but there you go. Desert on one side of the mountains, forest on the other side, like real life, says Moriarty. Yes, I like that. I dig that vibe. Let's go. Let's throw some of them down there. I kind of want to make these a bit more Tingus. Oh, that's not a bad idea. You said there needs to be a giant lake / inland sea. So one of the notes that I've recorded from chat last time is people really wanted to have a Great Lakes region, and I haven't decided where that's going to go on the map. We could make that the Great Lakes region. That could be sick, and then put the mountains around it. I like that. I think maybe we do that, guys. Let's I'm going to put a big dot right there for now, and we're going to turn that into our Great Lakes region here in a moment. Jack, you asked an interesting question. You said, since you already have the first book done, is the map for its location already thought out? Yeah, it is. So this is the world map. We're doing the whole world scale now, right? But if we go to my last map we made on stream, this is actually where the book begins. Because the goblins, goblins work for the biggest boss around, so they start out working for the Dark Lord. So we have here his legally distinct Mordor, and the goblins start in their little swamp with their village right down here. The first book, they start in their goblin village. They go up through the caverns of Whispering Web, this horrific under mountain pass full of spiders and giant webs. And they meet with their boss up here, and definitely not Mordor. And then they go out into the world on their journey. So that's this is a bit more of a region scale map. And then we're going to simplify this and put it onto one of these continents so that it now has its place in the world. Gustav, I use incarnatecom for their map maker. Mrs. Cheese, yes, that is 100% just Cypress in the middle. Welcome back, Millie. Good to see you. Hey, Simp1X, other name, and Snecky Snack, thank you for the heart. I missed that. I apologize. Y'all, we got a stream tradition around here. If you give a gift, you get a gift. So, other name, a goblin for you, my friend. Simp1X, a goblin for you. And Snecky Snack, since it's your first time, my friend, multiple goblins for you. There you go. Y'all, there's rules with the goblins. Don't feed them after midnight. Hide all the matches in your house. And I apologize. Your house will never be clean again. They're absolute chaos gremlins. But they're cute. It's worth it, right? WTP, the book is linked in my bio. It's called Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. Thank you for asking. All right, y'all. I need to hide my screen one moment. Okay, we're good. I was pulling up Google Maps, and it shows my exact home address if I start on it, so we gotta not do that initially. I want to look at the Great Lakes for a minute, because we're going to put a Great Lakes region in. So, like, they're kind of like, they're almost like fjord-esque in their shape. At least, what is that, Superior? Michigan? That's Michigan. Superior would what, be up here? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not from the Great Lakes region, y'all. We're learning. I'm a Florida boy. We don't do Great Lakes down here. Okay, so we're gonna make some Great Lakes up in here. Let's go ahead and knock that out. There we go. That is Cypress in the middle. You're spot on, y'all. Good eye. Aw, Jack, you're too kind, my friend. You trying to get some more goblins here? We got some goblins for you, Jack. Got that one for you, this one for you, and one more for you. All the goblins. You can have as many as you want, Jack. Thank you very much for the gifts. You're too kind. Thank you for the follows, everybody. Let's make some Great Lakes. Let's make some Great Lakes now. What did the shore look like on these lakes? So it looks like at this zoom level, it's relatively smooth. I mean, once you get in, it's going to get choppy. But at this level of zoom, pretty smooth looking. Book Talk, Brandon, those are all very good questions. What is after midnight? What constitutes before midnight? When do I feed my goblins? I offer you no support in this matter. Yeah, Tingus, I love that the Great Lakes are all interconnected. I full on want to make that a thing here. So I'm just going to start doing like, and I want them to run to the ocean too, right? So like, let's change brush size. We're going to rough up these edges, but we're just right now we're just painting the outline of our lakes. I kind of like how like Huron, it's got like this like thing coming off of it. I mean, I guess it's part of it, but it almost looks like a separate lake. So let's do one of those. Let's do like, you know, maybe this guy right here has got his own little like lake kind of coming off of him, right? Jack, we are using the app incarnatecom. I just put it in chat right there. It's a wonderful free online map maker. Give it a look. Highly recommend. All right, we're going to do general like that. Don't worry, guys. We're going to rough these edges up and make it look even better. You just got to start general, you know? The Fast-Paced Demons, you said, random question, what made you want to make a fantasy book? Well, I'm an author, and I grew up reading fantasy. It's my happy place. I have written a little bit of sci-fi, and I actually used to ghostwrite romance novels as well before I was able to write under my own name. Yeah, I've been writing full-time since 2018, so here's half of my books. The rest are sequels. Yeah, I tried a little bit of sci-fi down here, and then pretty much everything else is fantasy or lit RPG. And my most recent one, Wriggly Little Hands. They're all linked in my bio. That's how I make a living, so if y'all want to support me or support the stream, please check the links in the bio, grab a book, see if you like it. Oh, Jack, you're too kind, my friend. Hey, get it on Kindle counts. I get money from your page reads there, so thank you very much for picking it up, man. That absolutely works. I thank you very much. Tiny lake in the shape of a heart. We could throw that in there. I'll see if we can make that happen. Let's rough these up real quick. Oh, Noah Summers, I thank you very much for the gift, my friend, for the heart me. I got one for you. There you go. Get off my lawn, guy. He said, how does an RPG story get told? So you're probably asking about like lit RPG. genre of books. For the most part, the way that works is it's basically a pretty standard these days. It's constantly evolving, the genre of lit RPG. But kind of what's hot right now is a fantasy setting, a pretty stereotypical fantasy setting with a RPG system applied to it. So like think like Skyrim kind of, but it's a book. Or like another good example, it's a bit of an outdated example, but Ready Player One is a classic lit RPG. One of the first to really go mainstream. All right, so I've made these lakes. I'm not happy with the roughness around them. I almost kind of want to undo a lot of that. WTP, what's the Dark Lord's name? The Dark Lord, let me get his title right. In fact, we're just gonna pull it up here because I don't want to. It's a joke in the book that everybody has really dramatic names and titles. So let's make sure we get it right. His name is the Dark Lord Sarusamal, master of deceit, corrupter of the just, he who even the shadows fear. Trademark. And yes, the trademark is there every time his title is given in the book as a running joke. I actually have a joke planned for book 2 that he has a large litigious legal department who puts out DMCA takedown requests on anybody who uses his name, uses his trademark without his permission. Seems like a very Dark Lord thing to do. Melissa says Ready Player One is not dated. It's dated in the sense that lit RPG is a genre that moves disgustingly, incredibly fast. So its tropes evolve very quickly. It's actually really cool to watch. G-Load, Gelo? I'm sorry, I'm reading that name horribly. It is incarnatecom. That's the map maker we're using. Feel free to check it out. Free online map maker. Yo, I'm really displeased with my lakes here. I'm just gonna start over entirely. I'm not digging. I don't know what I've done wrong, but I don't like them. They're not vibing with me. We're gonna try again. I don't care for Squid Game, Millie. It's a little too sad for me, and it just makes me sad, so I don't really watch it. Shadow, thank you for the gift. Very kind, my friend. Gift for a gift, as is tradition. A goblin for you. Thank you. Oh, another gift. All right, well, 2 goblins for you then, my friend. Remember, don't feed them after midnight. Bad things will happen. All right, I want to do these Great Lakes. I'm just not sure. The shape wasn't working for me. Let's do this. Let's turn our roughness way up, which is going to make a different shape. Maybe like, and then we're going to go to subtract. There we go. Okay, that's looking a little more natural. Now that's going to be one of the lakes. Then we're going to change the roughness so that it's going to give a different shape. And we're going to make this one a little more of like a slash instead of a, you know, a circle. Yeah, I need a smaller brush size still. Maybe a lower roughness. There we go. Okay, I dig that. That's different. I think a little bit wider, perhaps. A little bit wider. There we go. Oh, Shadow, you're too kind, my friend. Look, I'm here streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time. But you know, we're always doing fun, bookish stuff, but also part of it's just like, I don't know, it starts my day off right. Y'all bring the positivity, and it's just fun. I love hanging out with you. It's just good vibes all around, man. I appreciate you being here. All right, I think one more Great Lake would be pretty good. So let's change up this roughness again, and we're gonna grab a lake kind of like in here with a curve on it. There we go. Now see, I'm much more happy with these. This is a template for the lakes, and we'll polish them up a bit. But real quick, let's get a world map zoom. It's been a while since we've shown that off. Oh, WTP, we'll definitely put towns and cities and stuff in here. Right now, we're just sculpting the big, overarching kind of changes and whatnot. Then we'll get into the minute details. So we're kind of finishing up this continent, and we're going to pop over here. You know, these 2 right here need a lot of work because they're still very basic and plain looking. So we're going to get into those. Ciento. It is incarnate.com. It's a online map maker. Feel free to check it out. Can you add a small lake in the middle of an island? I think we already have that somewhere. I saw it was made at some point on one of the barrier islands. It's really tiny. There we go. There's kind of one. There was another one somewhere. But yeah, we can do that. Yeah, Cypress actually just exists. All right, we can drop an island in the middle of our Great Lakes here. Boop. Nah, that's too big. That's too big. Let's get this roughness down a little bit. Let's get that brush size to like 4. Boop. There we go. There's our island inside the lake. Raffi, we started late today, my guy. I was taking my wife to the airport. So we didn't get started till about 9 a.m. Still, we're about 2 hours in, so we're doing good. We'll probably call it off here relatively soon, but hey, right now we're rocking and rolling, man. We're having fun. Thanks for being here, everybody. Guys, the map maker is called incarnate.com. I just put it in chat there. It is a free online map maker. Please go check it out. All right, and this is my Great Lakes interpretation, so we're going to connect them all because that's part of what makes the Great Lakes so sick. And we're going to connect them to the ocean too, because that's like, I don't know, it's just super cool, I think. Also, I kind of like the idea of this being like a swampy connection in here. Andrew, what's up, my guy? Yeah, we started way late today, so we're running a bit long, but I'm glad we caught you on your lunch break, man. The app name is incarnate.com. The website, it's a free online map maker. Here, I'll zoom out real quick. Here's the world map that we're working on. And there we go. Get it out from behind my head. We're doing a Great Lakes region as was requested right around in here. And y'all, Cassian, thanks for being here, man. Or wait, was it Keyshawn? I think you said it was like Keyshawn last time. Remind me of the pronunciation. But thank you for being here, my friend. Good to see you. Y'all, we need to get a save here. We got 150 changes, so let's save it. And while we're doing that, if you want to know what book this is from, it's my newest book. It's Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. But they're goblins. Don't give them important quests. They're just going to mess it up, get distracted, make bad jokes, set things on fire. It's a lot of fun. If you want to check it out, the links are in my bio. Please do. You can read the book that is set in this world. It's an audiobook, ebook, paperback, Kindle Unlimited, any format you want. Yes, that is Cypress in the middle. My family's from Cypress. I put it in as a bit of a joke. It was way too obvious. Everybody is having fun with it, so we're just keeping it in here. It's officially part of it now. That was a good question from the Fast-Paced Demon. Said, I've been wanting to write some fantasy books. What are some tips for getting ideas? Think about what's just like the coolest thing that you like. Like, what's the coolest thing off the top of your head? And just keep expanding on that, honestly. Like, when I started with Wriggly Little Hands, right, the basic idea for this was I was like, man, I loved road trip comedies when I was growing up. I want to write a road trip comedy in a fantasy setting. Who's the craziest people I could have do that? Oh, we should put some dumb little goblins on it. And Wriggly Little Hands was born. So yeah, just like totally have fun with it, you know? Let your imagination go wild. Don't worry about if it's too weird or whatnot. Just fully embrace it and have fun with it. That's my advice for starting out. Oh, you're good, Andrew. You're good, man. Nova's Warden is my best-selling book to date, so please go for it. Enjoy it. All right, y'all. I want to do a river system coming off this lake. So let's we're gonna do some rivers here. Let's figure that out. We're gonna use an old trick of mine. We're gonna grab our blue brush, and we're gonna paint the rivers in, and then we're gonna sculpt them out after that. The app I'm using is called incarnate.com. Put it in chat right there. It's a free online map maker. It has a paid version too if you want to use it, but the free version is totally rocking. Nothing wrong with it. All right, so we're gonna paint out some rivers here. I want to make this like a swampy river delta. That brush size is too big. Let's go down to like, maybe it's fine. We're gonna do it like right there. we're going to kind of get another one going like this. And then we're going to make the brush size smaller. And we're going to do some littles in between, kind of like this. And we're going to have this bad boy flowing into the ocean. Let's get that brush size up again. And this is just paint. We're gonna carve this out of the landscape here in a minute. Yeah, kind of something like that. All right, there's our sketch. There's our sketch. I don't mind it. Now let's cut it out. Oh, it is not. I think you're asking about this one. Is this based on Carthage? No, it's actually it's a meteor impact. That's what we were going for there, like an impact crater that just like obliterated this part of the continent and made this nice big ring. Oh, thank you, Steppen. You dig the concept for the book? Rock on, man. I appreciate it. Please enjoy. It's on Audible. It's on Amazon, ebook, paperback, KU, any format you want. Links are in my bio. You can even get signed copies if you want, if you're so inclined. Thank you, guys. You're very complimentary in chat. I appreciate you stopping by, saying nice things. Thanks for being here, folks. Y'all, we use incarnatecom for making maps. It's a free online map maker. Give it a look. It's sick. I'm a huge fan of it. All right, now that we've kind of traced out these rivers, I'm going to go and I'm going to cut them through. And then we're going to rough up the edges so they look a little more natural. Kind of like that. That's all right though. It's a little bit too big, but it's all right. We're starting rough, and then we'll get the detail work in there. That's the trick to stuff like this: is you start rough, and then you clean it up as you go, and it looks good by the time you're done. Hopefully, at least. That's the goal. Not always the outcome. There we go. Yeah, you're right, Tim Talk. You're full right, my guy. I'm going for like almost like a floodplain kind of delta here. So you got a bunch of rivers just kind of running all in different directions, whatnot. But we're not going by the most geographically accurate things here, because this is a fantasy comedy world. It's very goofy. So we're just kind of messing with stuff, like there's also, not a giant ring of ice that encircles the world, but there is in this one. If you want the program, y'all, we are using incarnate.com. It is a free online map maker. Let's see, good questions in here. Drew said, where did you get started? Did the map inspire the story? Did the story inspire the map? The story came first, and in fact is published now. So links in my bio if you want to read it. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. But we got the book. It's out. So now we need a map for it. We actually, the last map we made was this one. This is a bit more region specific to the book. The goblins start out down here in their swamp, in their little village. And they go through the creepy caverns of Whispering Web where the spiders try to eat them. And up to meet their Dark Lord, who they work for, in legally distinct Mordor. And then they go off on their journey through the world. So that's kind of where the book starts, but that's a region. This is the whole world. We've zoomed out. Steppen, no, I make all these maps on incarnate.com. Not by hand. I'm nowhere near good enough for that. All right, let's rough this up a little bit. We need to be rough. We need to add. And we're going to... I'm really kind of zoomed in too much here. So I can't rough it up as much as I want. You're good, Al Green. It is incarnate.com. I just put it in chat for you. Suvaki and Halloumi in the middle of the earth. My friend, we are spreading the good word of Halloumi. Not enough people know about how incredible Halloumi is. I'm trying to change that. The book's name is Wriggly Little Hands, right here. The links are all in my bio if you want to check it out. It's on Amazon and Audible. Give it a read if you want. It's pretty goofy. I had a lot of fun with it. Steppen, thanks for stopping by, man. It was a pleasure to have you. Nice to meet you. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central doing bookish stuff. We do maps on Friday. On Wednesday, I encourage you to come equipped with the title of your favorite book, and we will pull it up on Amazon, give the opening lines a read, and then I'll give you my author's perspective on it, like kind of dissecting the lines. And then on Mondays, we just do AMA, Ask Me Anything. So if you have questions about publishing, writing, anything, publishing, writing, editing, etc., ask away, and I will do my best to answer it for you. Just putting a little island in here. And let's get our paintbrush and paint this ground back to the correct color. There we go. Appreciate the follows, everybody. You're way too kind. The website we're using is incarnatecom. Yeah, I'm a bit struggling. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I'm a little bit struggling with these rivers down here, the estuary. That's a good word for it. But we'll figure it out. We'll just keep working it. We got our Great Lakes going on up there. I'm pretty happy about that. I think they look like Great Lakes. I feel like they should probably connect to the sea, to the ocean there. They're kind of far enough in. I kind of want to cut off a bit of that, actually. Let's put some land back in there. It bothers me that it gets that close to the sea without going in, So don't mind this. We're just gonna fill that lake in a little bit. I did like the curve on it, though. I thought it was a cool looking curve at the end of it. I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna rough it up a little bit around the edges. No, that's too much. Too much. Undo that, undo that. Yeah, still not loving it. It had a good shape originally, and I messed with it. I probably shouldn't have messed with it. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to Control-Z all the way back, y'all. David Marcy said, how do you even publish a book? Well, it depends on what kind of publishing you want. You can do traditional publishing. That's kind of the way that most people think about. You can do self-publishing. You can do small press publishing. There's a lot of options. You kind of got to pick which one you want to do. But for answering this question, I'll just stick with traditional because it's kind of the one most people know. What you do is you would write your book. You would query it to literary agents. And if an agent likes your book, they will pick it up, they'll work with you to improve it, and then they'll pitch it to publishers. And if publishers think there's commercial viability, they'll buy your book, and then they go about publishing it and running a marketing campaign and getting it on bookstores, all that sort of stuff. What program? We're using incarnate.com. Put it in chat there. It's a free online map maker. Feel free to check it out. All right, I think I saw something about geography. It doesn't matter geographically if it's a low lake, it could not connect. Yeah, I agree, traffic light. Also, I just like the shape of it, and I messed it up, so I got back to where I liked it. We're going to leave it like that. What we'll do, because what we were originally doing here is we were picking places to put mountains. We're going to just throw some mountains in here. And that's why it doesn't connect. All these darn mountains. Boom. All right, y'all. We never got to put our mountains on this continent, but let's get a quick world zoom. You can see the whole map real quick. Features of note: we have an Amazon rainforest vibe going on down here with like an Andes mountain range where it's high, dry, and desert on one side, and then the mountains are so tall they trap moisture in right down here. So this can be like an Amazon area. We got some deserts going around on definitely not Cypress. We got a Mariana's Trench down here that I'm excited to work on. Little barrier island running along. That was fun to make. We got an impact crater from a giant meteor at some point in time. We got our Great Lakes going on here. An Indonesia type area that we got to work on a bit more. And then we haven't decided what's going on with this continent here and the top half of this one. So we're working our way across, figuring it out. Verena, you can create this at incarnate.com. Can you also make countries, capitals, cities, mountains, etc.? Absolutely, Steph, absolutely. Here, if I go to display capture so you can see my full window, or most of it, I can go to this stamp catalog and just pull like anything I want. Man, they have so many things. Like, We got caves. We got various trees. Here's a bridge. Castle stamps. You can just build houses. Here's like a little, a farm. They got ships and sea monsters. You can choose, you want desert-themed settlements? You want dwarven settlements? Eastern? Elven? You got 159 different foliage assets just in this one pack. It's pretty sick. Jay, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a good Friday and a great weekend. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff you can do in here. You got orc settlements. It's got a ton of different stamps you can use. I'm just on the geography, the landscape shaping part of the map. So we'll get into all that detail later. Right now, we're just figuring the geography. Esme, I have written the book. It's right here. Wriggly Little Hands, a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord and all the wonderful ways they mess that up every step of the process. The links for it are in my bio. It's on Audible. It's an audiobook. It's on Amazon, ebook, paperback, Kindle Unlimited, whatever format you want. Check it out. I'd appreciate it. It's my full-time job. I'm an author. So if you want to support me and support the stream, give it a read. It's a good book. Great for Nate. You're trying to improve your incarnate skills. Any tips? Just practice, man. It's really just practice. Like I've just started doing it for fun. Look at maps that you like. Look at detailed areas of them. Something that I really like to do to get better is to pick a map that I really love, zoom in on a specific area, screenshot it, and then try to recreate it in Incarnate. That's a great way to do that. I recreated the Shire once as practice. So yeah. I think that's a good way to do it. It is Cypress in the middle. I put it in as an Easter egg because my family's from there, but it was way too obvious of an Easter egg. But people were having fun with it, so now Cypress just exists here. That's just going to be a thing. All right. We were placing mountains up here, so let's get back to that. How do we want this mountain range to go, y'all? Oh, first off, I need the mountain to be right side up. You live in Cypress, Max? Rock on, my guy. Where? Yasu Kai Kalimera. Or Kalispera. I keep getting the time zone wrong. Great for Nate. Yes, Wriggly Little Hands is an audiobook on Audible. Wonderful cast produced it. Please check it out. And you're very welcome for the advice. I hope it helps. Alright, maybe... we still need some mountains. I mean, we got a couple of them here, but they're just a little bit too, linear. Keep in mind, y'all, this is loose mountains that we're doing right now. We're going to fine-tune all of this. We're just staking out the rough, ideas of the story right now, the rough topography. We'll come back and fine-tune all of this. All right, so I think we can call this continent pretty good for its outlines. I'm happy with it. I'm actually, this river delta is kind of growing on me down here. Estuary. What's the map for this fantasy book? Here's the book. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. It's very goofy. Links are in my bio if you want to grab a copy. Please do. Check it out. I'd appreciate it. The software we're using is incarnatecom. It is an online map maker. Free. It's lovely. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to call it here for today. It was a lot of great progress. Thanks for joining me, guys. It's been a really fun stream. Loved having everybody. Nice to meet y'all. Thanks for the follows, for the likes, for the comments, for taking part and suggesting things to add to the map. This is great progress. We will be back to work on this continuously. As a reminder, here's the last map we did. We finished on stream. Had a lot of fun with that one, and we'll get to this level of detail eventually. But right now, we're just doing the big picture stuff. Yes, that is Cypress in the middle. I put it in as an Easter egg because my family's from there, and now it's just become a full thing. It's just going to be Cypress in the middle of the map. I'm using a Fantasy World map traffic light for my map here on Incarnate. Uh-oh. That's in Greek. I can tell you the letters, but I can't tell you what it means. It's Pame... Lego. I just don't know what it means. I feel like I know Lego. I feel like I learned that one. I'm still learning. I'm still learning my Greek. Can I make a Finland biome? Yeah, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. So next stream we're gonna work on. Let's get a big circle so you can see where I'm talking. Next stream we're gonna work on this continent fleshing out, and then the top of this one. We got to figure out what's going on here. So come with your ideas, guys. Bring your ideas for what we're gonna do there. As a reminder, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time, and I'll be excited to see you back for it. Thanks for joining me, guys. It's been a great stream today. I've had a lot of fun. As a reminder, I am author Alex Knight. That is my full-time job. So after this, I'm going to go work on my next book. But if you want to see the book that this map is for, here it is. Wriggly Little Hands is a fantasy comedy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. It's been described as a D&D campaign where nobody put any points into intelligence, and the DM takes a shot after every chapter. Made my week when a reviewer described it like that. But the links for it are in my bio. You can grab the audiobook, ebook, paperback, whatever format you want. Otherwise, y'all, thank you for joining me. Thank you for the follows. Thanks for hanging out. Trumpet butt, you're going to Cypress next week? Rock on, man. Where at? Where are you going to visit? Have all of the halloumi. It's the cheapest you'll ever find halloumi. Eat it all. If you haven't had halloumi before, just go for it, man. You'll fall in love. Other name, thanks for hanging out with me today, man. I appreciate you. Folks, as always, a very special thank you to Kevin MacLeod of incompetech.com for the use of his songs, Farm, Manor, Cottages, and Northern Glade, which provided our background music today. As well, an extra special thank you to community member Raffi the Engineer. Shout out to Raffi. He made our 5th song, Midnight at the Round Table, just for this stream. My man composed a whole song and produced it just for the stream. Insane. Unasked. Just did it for fun. Thank you, Raffi. Of course, another shout out to my excellent mods, Melissa Lee 28, Raffi the Engineer, One Happy Harpy Simp, 1X, other name wasn't available, aka Slindy, Leisha T, and Aaron Winnick. Y'all, I appreciate you keeping the vibes going here. Luckily, it's a lovely community. There's so many fun people hanging out. I appreciate meeting you all. Lastly, if you've enjoyed the stream, please give me a follow so I can see you on the next one. And we will be back maybe this weekend for a random stream. We'll see. But if not, definitely Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time for more map and bookish fun. I'll give it one last time before I sign off, y'all. The map is made through incarnatecom. It is a free online map maker. Please check it out. It's a lot of fun. Otherwise, y'all, thank you for being here. Thank you for the follows. I seriously appreciate you. Oh, Trumpet, you're going to Paphos. All right. Oh, it's your 3rd time. Okay, so you've been fully inducted into the cult of halloumi then if it's your 3rd time in Cypress. Rock on, man. Paphos is lovely. I need to go to Paphos more. My family's in Limassol, so that's where I'm mostly staying. But enjoy it. Enjoy it. Y'all, thank you for being here. An absolute pleasure to meet y'all. I will be back maybe this weekend, but definitely Monday at 7 a.m. Central Time. And I'll see you then. Until then, have a great weekend. Rock on. Be excellent to each other. Peace out, y'all.